So, managed to calm down. Managed to calm down. And there's a lot of news that's came out, and it's concerning the Snyder Cut. Okay, there was things posted about this interview that Ray Fisher done for Cyborg, and he comes out and he says some interesting stuff, and I'll put I think I added a link to my previous video, and I'll put another link there, and he's basically saying that it exists and it's up to the powers to be if they wish to release it and stuff. And there's a lot of affection for Zack, for people all around the world and stuff. Now there are those people that hate his films and stuff, but to be honest, you can't really say anything bad about his character. Now I've made videos in the past. Basically, I've made a couple of videos. Basically, he could turn out to be an a-hole as well, mind you, because he's tweeting all these pictures and he's sending out all this hope, for a Snyder Cut, or that it exists. And there's some posts and bloggers that's talking about that it doesn't, because Warner Brothers deleted some files and stuff like that. And but maybe Zack Snyder's got maybe he's got his own copy of the film, and they have to come to some sort of an agreement to release it. There's also there was statements that Zack's made at the end of Justice League where all those sort of plant things, all those roots that come up off the ground and starts tunneling everywhere. Well, he says that had nothing to do with him. That has got, he didn't know anything about it. So there's some of you that suggest that that was the original intent. That was what that was what Disney wanted, or Joss Whedon wanted. Was this? It was the same thing that can be said about the Russian family. Now there's sites out there, comicbook.com and stuff like that, and the guy in charge of that, he wants to investigate the Snyder Cut now. He wants to see it, and then you have people phoning Walter Amada about it and stuff like that, and phoning, and YouTubers are phoning them and everything else. And then you've got all these pictures with Gal Gadot coming out and hints of Darkside with drawing on the wall. There was an art released of a huge giant holding some sort of weird spear in his hand with 4 or 5 points, and Zack Snyder actually came out and said that was Darkside, but he didn't actually say it was Darkside. He actually said it was, he said something else, Darkside's real name, which I'm not even going to try and pronounce because it was wrong, but I didn't even know this, okay? I thought Darkside was Darkside. Okay, I wasn't one to read, I haven't read the Darkside War yet. I've just finished New Gods, and he's always been called in the New Gods original, but Darkside, but lo and behold, Zack Snyder, I presume you can Google it and stuff like that, Zack Snyder knew. He also had ideas about the Source, and that he's coming, like the Source Wall, which is basically giving him the power to control minds. He saw a wee bit in it, like in Smallville and stuff like that, where Darkseid, he didn't come through as a god, he came through as some sort of thing that overtook bodies and stuff, corrupt the minds and everything, which I always thought was a bit bizarre. Why did you need to do that to go on to the world? Especially now you got Big Steppenwolf, who didn't need to possess anybody, but maybe that's Darkseid's thing. You also had it in Final Crisis, which was, for me, I'm not a big Grant Morrison fan, okay? I'm not a big Grant Morrison fan. But for me, you know, it complicated things. It was people that weren't people, they were actually gods inside and stuff like that. And I thought, no, it just. So I'm not a big fan of that sort of idea. But anyway, Zack Snyder wanted, you know, that Darkside came to this world looking for evidence of this power. And a wee bit like Thanos and stuff like that. Mind you, it was done by the same guy. It was created by the same guy. But there was more emphasis on this Justice League film to have Darkseid maybe in the beginning and maybe have a bit of Steppenwolf, because we knew that Zack Snyder wanted to do this arc of a movie. So, and of course, if you were going to go into Justice League, you know, he would have, you know, the 2-part or 3-part or whatever, he would have went back to that big Nightmare Dream sequence. He would have had to have introduced Darkseid at some point in his earlier stage and lead up to him, which to me is still early doors for Darkseid, because but again, we never got that, you know, and because it was cut down to maybe one movie and stuff, it was probably the right thing to take out Darkseid from that movie, because you want the biggest, baddest, meanest god to have a big build up to make the threat bigger. So everyone, and that's what brings me to this point I'm going to try and make, and just remember, right? I'm just one of you guys. I have fears and worries, and I'm a big fan as everything else. And with the Facebook page, I try to just kill my fears and worries and create something positive. But with my YouTube channel, always thought of just it being something like my therapist. Okay, and basically we need this, right? DC fans need some sort of therapist these days because of what's happening. And now, here's my thing, right? People around the world want the Snyder Cut and stuff, right? We don't know we're going to see it. And it's taking up much of our time. I would like to see the Snyder Cut, right? But it's also a worry. Now, have you seen my last video? It talked about how it may be the end of the DCEU as we know it. And I'm hoping I'm wrong. I am hoping it's all clickbait and the studios has, you know, a game plan. But again, my main argument, and I made this one about secrets as well, is get out there and tell us your plans. But because they haven't got somebody out there to tell us what they're going to do, it lessens the evidence for me that they know what they do, you know, that they don't know what they're doing, right? They're making it up as they go along. Now, if half of what I said in my last video about the end of the DCEU is right, then having the Snyder Cut, yes, granted, the positive would be we would see what briefly would have been Zack Snyder's film. We might not have seen it all, but the dark side about that is, the dark side about getting that film would be that it would show us a universe of movies. It would show us an idea of what was in Zack's mind for 7 movies that he was planning to make. It would have showed you more idea, and look at us right now as we're dying to get a hold of the Snyder Cut. Now, we have only ideas of what was in that. You know, we have only hopes and whatever we saw online that was filmed or unfinished photo shots, and we're building it up. And as the more and more the days and the months go by, we are making this film to be something. It's like a trailer. It's like a movie trailer, right? We when we saw like BVS and we see the trailer and we went wow, and we start putting ideas of what the film's going to be like, and then when it came out, it went whoa. It could be like another Justice League where we see things in the trailers and and then when we see the film and it's not what we thought it would be, and then our hopes and dreams just come crashing down, and Zach Zach goes down in our estimation, we lose all his faith and stuff like that. And I know you're saying, we love Zach, Zach's brilliant. I'm not saying he's not. Right? I'm not saying he's not. But I've always said he's not once came out and he's only shown his pictures and stuff like that. And he may not have the power to release it, but he's keeping us going. And some of you will say, that's what it needs to get it released. We've got to keep driving forward for it. I don't remember a time when people were putting a petition for the Richard Donner cut. Okay, but it gradually came out. But if Zach is doing this because the Snyder cut exists, then I don't see why he can't tell us at least. Right? Why we have to somehow hear it from Ray Fisher. Why we have to hear it from Jason Momoa, who somehow has seen the film. You know, we need to see it from the shore so we can tell people. But I'm drifting off the subject again. The worst Darkside about seeing the Snyder cut is we'll be seeing our heroes the way it was meant to be seen, granted. But we'll also be seeing a film franchise that is no more. We'll see a film franchise where we'll go, well, now I've seen the Snyder cut, the rest just ain't matching up. It's just not as, that's not what we want. I'm not going to see Shazam, I'm not going to see Aquaman, because that is not what the original Zack Snyder plan was. That is the downside of it all. Now you think of it, people, you must have seen the comments already. People are already saying, I'm not going to see Aquaman. I'm not going to see this and that. I'm not. You see those childish comments. Now you see, even though James Wan is a good friend of, of Zack Snyder, people are saying, no, I'm not going to do it because we never got, it's tantrums. And stuff, and that's the dark side of the Snyder cut, is we'll be reminded of what could have been and what isn't anymore, and it'll fill us up with a wee bit of the dark side in us all. We go on YouTube and we search. There's a guy out there that messages me all the time, okay, who's got noticed by Zack Snyder. Yep, it hurt me because I ran a Facebook page defending his movies for the last 10 years and I never got a like, but he's not on Facebook, he's on Vero or whatever. But he keeps on reminding me about this Snyder cut. But as I say, I'm more DC, Zack Snyder's a great director, he's made, to me, one of the best superhero movies of all time, BVS. And it's went unnoticed in the masses, and hopefully years to come people realise what a great movie it was. But right now, I'm getting old, and I just want to see more and more of my beloved heroes on the big screen. I don't want to end up going and seeing a Snyder cut that I do want to see, okay, but just try and bear with me. To see a Snyder cut and then I either let down by the film, it's not what I thought, or it just reminds me of a universe that is done. We're not going to have those actors play those roles again. We're not going to have that same follow-on storyline. That there is a bad side to getting it. And sometimes, the more we go on about it, the less interest we have in the DCU. Some people have already given up on the DCU. Some people have said, if I see the Zack Snyder film, that's it, I'm done. I'm not going to see anymore. Some people already finished. Couldn't care less because of the meddling that Warner Brothers has done. And Warner Brothers has not come out yet and tried to smooth things over. They should have came at Comic-Con and said to the world, we messed up, here is these films. Oh, something, I know they couldn't say that because there's thousands of people out there that that enjoy Justice League. But you go to what the money it made, you go to sites, and it'll be very foolish thing to say that the film is everything that Warner Brothers wanted it to be. The fact is, Warner Brothers didn't know what the film should have been. I think what really happened was that I believe, we all believe, if Man of Steel and BVS made loads of money, right, Warner Brothers would have left Justice League alone. They would have left it because it was making money. And they wouldn't have got involved. They would realise, oh, they were wrong, and Zack Snyder would have been hurt, whatever. There were so many reasons how Zack Snyder's ideas could have came into full fruition, and we could have got those films. And when it came to making Justice League, even though I said many times there's a lot of things in the Justice League films I totally disagreed with Batman committing suicide and having like a final crisis moment with Darkside and everything. That would have been a one-off story. It would have been a one-off story. But you have to realise there's fans out there that want to see the Superman be their version, or non-readers have the Superman that they could take the kids to. So it was always a dicey game for Zack Snyder to do that, and he was brave to even attempt to tell a unique story. But sadly, this is the time of Marvel movies, of cheap jokes, of same ingredients put in. I've even seen YouTube videos, I think I linked it in my last one, where they're overrated. But this is the times. This is the times we move in, where there is no independent thought anymore. There's no creativity anymore. You have to go with the masses, just like the movie Fountainhead. You've got to please the majority of people. There's very little room for new art. And it takes a while for them to build up that. And as I say, but I'll always compliment Zack. And Zack's been so outstanding. He has not come out and booed the haters. He stayed quiet. He just gets on with things. And even through the time of he loses his daughter, he is a remarkable guy. When you get to know his character. Sadly, some people out there just judge him by his movies. And it hurts me the more every time I say, Zack, seriously, if this Snyder Cut doesn't exist, and you've been pulling our legs for so many years, or for so many months, then you're going to come out of this bad. So own up. It's not like they can fire you. You're still an outstanding director. But again, it scares me, this Snyder Cut. It really does scare me. Because on all purposes, it may not be the film we wanted. But at the very least, it'll be a film that reminds us what we'll not get and what we'll not have. I mean, Darkside in a big budget movie. Even if he was in that Justice League for 5 minutes, an intro, then we'd be wondering, oh my god, what would he have done next in the next movie? What would he have done? Well, we're not going to get that. Unless a miracle happens, right? They release the Snyder Cut, and the studio, and it makes loads of money somehow. And and it gets all fans, and the internet goes crazy for it and stuff. And then Warner Brothers goes, see all these actors that are wanting too much money for the role, we've got to get them back, because wow, let's get Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill back in. We need these people right now. That's, you know, let's get these other films that Zack originally planned. That would be phenomenal. But what's the chances? What's the chances of that happening? Having the Snyder Cut will just be, you know, having the Snyder Cut. It's good and it's bad. It's like when we have the Justice League movie right now. We watch it and we appreciate it what it is, but at the same time hate it. Because it reminds me of the different, it reminds us of the different route that it could have went down, and that we could have got something different. And that's exactly what the Snyder Cut will do. It will have the same effect as the Justice League. It will be a reminder of what was and what could have been. Thanks very much.